Hello and welcome to my junior seminar second project. I am Michael Payonk and I will be your narrator. Today's competencies will be written communication and oral communication. Written communication involves the ability to express ideas clearly and effectively through writing. Students should be able to appropriate context, audience, and purpose. Your writing should apply to the subject matter given. Keep in mind who your audience is. While in school, the audience can include your professors, your classmates, and perhaps other faculty members. Your writing must also illustrate a comprehension of the subject. In this excerpt, not only did I read the story, but evaluated the information and processed it to come up with my own theory about the story. Appropriateness. This is an excerpt from my 495 management course. Shown is a statement of problem. Papers must be written in the appropriate format. This paper also included an introduction, theoretical rationale, and a conclusion, among others. These items are appropriate for the type of paper I was required to write. However, they would not be appropriate for something such as a short story, or a reflection paper written about an essay or an article. Relevant sources. Regarding my previously mentioned paper, which was about manpower resources in the Air National Guard, these references are appropriate and relevant. They come from the Air Force and the Air National Guard. Wikipedia might be a good starting place, but it is not a good reference. Communicating meaning. Here's an excerpt from one of my English papers. It discusses 3 different short stories. In this portion of the paper, I have communicated to the reader my thoughts regarding Maupassant's use of lines of delineation, which once crossed cannot be undone. I have provided examples to support my theory. Oral communication. This involves the ability to comprehend and to speak in standard English with precision and clarity. When creating a compelling message, it helps to build an outline to organize your ideas. It is important to use a good outline. This is the example that Professor Trent provided. Here is the outline for my final presentation. Organizational patterns. Creating a good outline allows you to organize your material into a usable fashion that helps you to clearly relate your information to others. Language. Obviously, we want to use standard English as per the oral communication learning outcomes. However, it is just as important to use words you would expect your audience to understand. Your audience may have age limitations, both younger and older, or educational limitations. Perhaps there are technical limitations as well. For example, would a first-year math student understand the complex mathematical language regarding thrust-specific fuel consumption of jet airplanes, or how to compute the lift coefficient of an aircraft wing? Next, you will see a short excerpt from one of my first speeches. It was an extemporaneous speech. Professor Trent helped me to correct all my errors.
All right. Ice hockey is played on a rink. It's a sheet of ice that's encompassed by a set of boards and glass. All right. There's really like no out of bounds there. You can't get out of bounds. You're stuck in there. There's 2 goals that are inside the playing surface. They're not outside the end zones or anything like that. Okay. That's one difference. Next difference that we got in there as far as the teams that go and play there is that there's 6 players per team. There's not 5 players, there's not 11 players. If you look at a lot of sports, a lot of them have 5 players, a lot of them have 11 players. So there's 6 players there. We have another big difference is that, well, if you're playing on ice, we live in New York, we're all familiar with it. You can't just go out there and run around. All right? So we get into specialized equipment. All right? So to move around, each player wears a set of these. These are ice skates.
Sources must be relevant and credible. Again, Wikipedia may not be the most reliable source. You can also use a variety of supporting visuals, such as pictures, charts, and any other item that relates to your speech. Thank you.